We are going to make piping with continuous bias tape. So I have my rectangle. You can use a square as well. First, fold down one of the top corners down to the bottom so that it meets. This is your bias. And cut that piece off. Oh, hold on. Let me go turn on cartoons for my child. 1 second. Okay, now that I'm Mom of the Year, we're going to take this piece and move it around to make a parallelogram, which is the two diagonals should be running in the same direction. Right sides together, we're going to sew these two pieces together. 1/4 inch seam allowance. Oh. Okay. Now we have one piece. Let's press this seam open. Beautiful. Now on the wrong side of your fabric, where you're now going to excuse me, draw our lines. To determine the width of your strips, you will take your seam, whatever seam allowance you want. I like 1/2 inch, so multiply that by 2. That's 1 inch. Plus, you're going to double the width of your piping, or I'm sorry, of your cording. I got this paracord at Walmart for $1. It said it was 5.5 millimeters, so I want to say it's about 3/16 of an inch, so you would multiply that by 2. I'm not super great at math, so I'm just going to say my strips are 1.25 inches. Now, with your fancy see-through ruler, let's draw some lines. Starting on one end, I went 1.25 inches. So I would align the edge of my fabric with 1.25 inches along my ruler and draw a line. And you do that all the way across. 1.25 inches. This is my 4th video. I hope this one's it. Just keep going until you're all the way across to the other side. This is a chalk pen. It's one of my favorite gadgets ever. It comes with a whole slew of colors plus a copious amount of white chalk. That way you don't get your fingers dirty. And it's like, you know, when you were in grade school and the teacher had the chalk holder. The only thing I don't like is this blue, since it's so dark, it does not wash off well. The white chalk, the yellow, and the other ones do wash better, but this blue does not. So if you're making clothes or something that's going to be seen, don't use the blue. Stick with the white. It comes in very, very handy. Almost there. Not exactly even. That's fine. Now, here's the tricky part. We want to connect these lines from the top and the bottom. Excuse me. So, flip it over, right side up. Fold this, or top or the bottom, so fold up the bottom. Take your top. Now, I don't know if you can see, here's my first line, here's my second line. We want to connect the first line on the top of your fabric to the second line on the bottom. And what I mean by connect is just try to match the ending point as well as you can. And as you go across, try to keep those ends as great as possible. I mean, match the ends of the lines as best you can. And it's going to turn into kind of a tube as you go along. That's okay. If your lines don't perfectly match up, that's okay too. We're gonna cut it so it'll be even. Oh my gosh, my lines are totally messed up. Totally. Gotta get out of California. That's right. We can fix it. Slice my finger open. It's really hard to use my thumb. Yeah, my lines are so off. This is... I may have to... Okay. So when you get to the end, match up the... Oh, no. You'll be one line off. Okay, no, it's okay. It's not as messed up as I thought it was. You'll be one line off. So since we started at the first line on the top of the fabric, the last line on the top of the fabric will hang off. That will be the end of our bias. Now, let's just make all of this fit. When in doubt, manhandle. Much better. Okay. Great. Now, we are going to sew along this line, 1/4 inch. It's probably hard to see. So the second line matches with the first on one end. And then the first on the side matches with the second on this one. Let's sew along this. have this loop. Fabulous. Take your handy dandy scissors, start on either end. Remember, the first one hangs off, so we're going to start cutting along our lines. Make sure you don't cut more than one thickness of fabric. And just keep cutting along, rolling our tube as we go. Okay, that doesn't count. Probably should have pressed that seam open. Yep, don't forget to do that. I got carried away, but it will help you. If your lines don't perfectly match up along that seam, just cut it the best you can. Remember, you know, you have a 1/2 inch seam allowance, so if you lose a little bit of that, it's not going to be a big deal. Maybe I should get my shorter scissors. These are a little too long. Alright. That's better. Almost. I know. Super boring. See if I can think of something else to talk about. We're moving in 2 weeks from California to Virginia. I'm getting a little sad. We ate at In-N-Out for the last time today. So I had a milkshake for old time's sakes. I almost started crying. I love In-N-Out. If they had bacon, it would be even better. Right. Well, let's just cut that off. Boop. Now, oh my gosh, look at all of this bias tape that we have from our little ugly piece of scrap. This is going to make beautiful bias tape. I wasn't a huge fan of the fabric, but it's going to be so pretty. So, you can use it for cording, you can use it for regular bias tape, whatever you want. But now, I am cut off a little bit so I can show you how to actually sew the cording to make piping. And I'm going to save the rest of this to make bias tape is beautiful. So if you were to continue to make bias tape, to make double folds, you would fold it in half and then meet in the middle, kind of like what we do with the straps on the bags, and then fold it all together. It'd be very, very pretty. Or you can do single fold. That's a video for another time. Now, let me start another video so it's not so long.